Today I come to speak about a topic which might be personal to you and which is a global challenge as I believe into about it. Poverty. Poverty, I was born before poverty. I grew up in poverty. Poverty has become part of me and it flows through me, through my veins like blood. When I speak of poverty, most of you would assume, as I'll tell you that you're correct, I'm going to specifically speak about Africa, because this is where I come from. I saw poverty when I was growing up. I saw the effects that it causes on people. Ladies and gentlemen, I know and I believe that poverty is not only a result of nature, but it was man-made. And as a globe, as a people, we have the capacity to come up with solutions that are going to end poverty forever, and we are going to make poverty a history. Speaking of such, I will start speaking about hunger. According to the United Nations, about 25,000 people die every day because of hunger-related diseases. If you calculate it well, this accounts to about 1 person for every 3.5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that in this world we have enough food for everybody. But as Gandhi said, this is only possible if everybody has food that they are in need of, not the food that they have greed for. So we have to specifically focus on managing our food well, sharing, and because sharing, as they say, is caring. This, as I say, is a human problem, so it requires human solution. And we have got the capacity, and I believe that we can do so, rather than letting a lot of life being lost. I grew up in a society where I went to school, there were no teachers, because there were no teachers because they was hungry. Where I went up to the hospital, the nurses would not come because they were hungry. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we can do better to alleviate this problem. Speaking of poverty, I don't know why it is so, but where there's poverty, there's diseases. And we know of the diseases that have caused so much suffering in Africa, and specifically the world. We have HIV and AIDS. AIDS has been declared the number 2 largest epidemic killer from the Black Death. It kills and it continues to kill every day, every year. And yet alone, we know that in most developed countries, there have been projects and there have been programs that have been set up to educate people about the preventing HIV/AIDS. We know, we just hear of the antiretroviral drugs that are introduced to people, but we never see them in developed countries. They are expensive to these people, yet these people require them at the most need. Today, Africa still remains in poverty because its most active generation is dying because of HIV and AIDS. But yet alone, as the world, we are watching and seeing, and we are blaming governments, we are blaming people, but as a world, what are we doing to make this a change? That's why I'm saying we have to find global solutions for these global problems. We have one of the diseases that I'm standing here in the year of 2000, in the year of our Lord 2011, being ashamed to say it still exists, malaria. But ladies and gentlemen, malaria still exists in Africa. It kills about 1 million people every year. And just to show you how it spreads so badly, the World Health Organization says that for each person who is affected by malaria, he or she spreads it to about 10 or 15 people every year. But $1 can buy a mosquito net, can buy a mosquito coil that can be used to prevent this disease. But what are we doing as a world? Ladies and gentlemen, I have spoken of problems. I think now we want to hear the solution. Solutions, first of all, they need food, and we will have food here. We can share with them, we can give them. The little we give, it can make a change to a person who is in need. And just giving alone cannot be enough. Aid alone cannot be enough. We can set up projects, especially for people in developing countries. We call them food for work, where people are going to work for food. This is going we're going to set up projects building infrastructure, roads and housing, where they work and we pay them food, we give them food, yet they build their countries and it actually end poverty. In children classes, we give food to children to come to class so that the little education they get, they can change the world and they can move away from poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we had systems that created this poverty. As we see at this world today, in this world global politics, we have trade restrictions that put African countries in a disadvantaged position. If we can change, if we can come up with projects that can support these governments so that they can sell their produce, we can support them in agriculture so that they can give land to their people, not politicizing the events that they do in their countries. I was speaking particularly in Zimbabwe. There was a land redistribution project that was that happened in 2001. Because it happened, but it happened, and the West were not in good books with the president. They were all against it, and people now are still in poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, we can change this world. And they said, global problems are interlinked. We live in a world as together. The poverty of Africa is going to become the poverty of the United States of America if we don't take good care of it. And today I declare that I'm in for a change, and I'm in to see a better world for all of us, and I hope